Okay, so for the most part, when I asked you guys what you wanted, it was Instagram again. I have been trying my freaking hardest to get, like, I have a program on my phone so I can actually physically show you guys my Instagram on my phone. But ever since I did the iOS update on my phone, it's not working anymore. So I emailed them. Hopefully they'll be able to fix it in the future. But for now, I just basically have to talk you guys through it because there's no other way. So for Instagram, I went over a basics call. So if you guys haven't seen that call, it's in the files in our Fit and Free Coach group. It's in the team calls. And that basically goes over, you know, like what kind of stuff should be on your profile picture, that kind of stuff. But I kind of wanted to get into more the connecting with people on Instagram. So I'm going to kind of go over first what your posts and your profile should be like. And I mean, Instagram, it's totally visual. It's not, I mean, like, yeah, you write stuff on your posts, but when people are scrolling, they're scrolling through pictures. So you want to make sure that your pictures are good. You want to make sure that they are eye-catching. I use programs. I mean, I have an iPhone, so you have to take that into consideration. But I use programs like Typic. Typic I paid for, and it's totally and completely worth like the $2.99, whatever it costs. I use Over. I actually think I paid for most of my picture ones because I don't like, you know, like made with whatever on my pictures. So I use Typic, I use Over, I use PicStitch, I use a free one of that. WordSwag and Pick Play Post, that's another free one. Those are all really good ones. For Instagram, your videos that you post, like even if it's a Pick Play Post one, which is basically, you know, you can add like 4 or 5 different, or, you know, however many different video clips into one picture, and it'll play like at different times or all at the same time, whatever you choose. But keep in mind that for videos on Instagram, they can't be longer than 15 seconds. So videos are actually really, Shelby said Instacollage is really good too. Videos are really, really good for Instagram because they play automatically when you're scrolling through. And but you have to make sure that they are super to the point. Like I like doing, if I'm doing a coaching event or a coaching webinar, I literally have to write out what I'm going to say and like speed say it, because you have to make sure that you get the really important information out there, but always make sure that you have a call to action in your posts. This, by a call to action, I mean, you know, you'll have your text, or for a video, you'll have your video, but you'll always have at the end of it, you know, for more information or whatever, add me on Facebook, check out this video on my Facebook or on my YouTube, put the link, fill out this form, put the link, drop your email address below, and if you get their email address, make sure that you are following up and emailing those people. But literally on Instagram, you can do a call to action on every single post because it's not going to be nearly as annoying as if you were to do that on Facebook. You know, Instagram is so fast moving. You know, you could be on Instagram 1 minute and the next minute you go, okay, maybe not the next minute, depending on how many people you follow, but all of the posts that are starting to show up to you are not going to be the posts that are showing up to you anymore because people post so often on there. So calls to action on literally every single post. I'm not kidding. You can do calls to action on every single post. And actually, if you like do any of Shailene's trainings on Instagram, she talks about doing calls to action on every single post. And she's like the guru of Instagram. You want to make sure that people see you in your profile. So, and I'm not only talking about the picture, you do want yourself to be the picture, and you want to be kind of like a clear picture of yourself too. You don't want to like have all this background around. You want to like zero it in. But people need to see you in your post. I think it's like, What did Jillian say? Like calls to action on every post. If you have a pic of your kid, what would your call to action be? I mean, it depends on what your post is. If it's just a picture of your kid, I mean, you could be like, add me on Facebook if you're another mom, whatever. You don't have to do a call to action on every single post, but it's good to. Because really what Instagram is a tool for you to move that person over to Facebook. That's really what it is. And for you to make those connections that you wouldn't be able to make inside of Facebook. But, okay, so let me check this out here. When you go to somebody's Instagram, you are going to see something like that. This is my Instagram. You're going to see the first 6 pictures. So you basically want your first 6 pictures at all times to at least have you once or twice. You don't want to be a walking Beachbody billboard. I'm not kidding, because there are so many salesy coaches on Instagram. You want to set yourself apart from that. That's why I don't even suggest having Beachbody anything in your profile. You are not a Beachbody coach. You are you. You are helping people. You are an online health and fitness coach. You are whatever you want to say. Just if somebody says, if a lot of people just completely get off that profile if it says Beachbody because of how many spammy Beachbody coaches there are. So I just take that completely off your profile. But you really do want to have good things in your first 6 posts, which basically means you want to be posting good things all the time. You want to make sure that your Instagram almost looks like a magazine. I mean, the pictures don't have to be absolutely as beautiful as a magazine would, but you want to make sure that your pictures are something that's going to stop people. Like I just said before, you want to make sure that your pictures are, something that will be eye-capturing. And to expand on that, you don't want to take a ton of time to make your pictures. Use your time wisely. With all the apps that I mentioned, a picture shouldn't take you any more than 5 minutes to make. Really, if you're spending more than 5 minutes on a picture, you're completely wasting your valuable time that you could be spending talking to somebody. With these pictures, it's, you could do a filter over it. You can put, words over it, quote, whatever. You just want to make sure that it looks good when you post it and that it's something that you yourself would probably stop to look at, because more often than not, you or the person that you used to be is typically your target market. And like I said, you want to make sure that people see you, as in your face. You want people to know what you look like. If it's just a bunch of pictures of your kids, where are you on there? You are not your kids. You love your kids, don't get me wrong, but that's not, is that really the profile that you want to be representing? Yes, you're a mom, but if all you're posting is pictures of your kids, why is anybody going to follow you that wants help with fitness or nutrition or anything like that? Like, why? Look at your profile and really figure out, like, do I look like I can help somebody? Would somebody think that I am actually a health coach, that they can come to me to get some help? Because if it doesn't look like that, then you have to adjust what you're doing. This is super important. Make your profile public. If it's not public, there's no point in using Instagram. There's absolutely none, unless it's just for family and friends. If you want your posts to be seen, you have to make them public. You have to make your entire profile public. Same thing. You have to use hashtags. I can't remember the amount of hashtags you can use on one picture, but I want to say it's like between 20 and 30. And again, use your time wisely. Save a note in your phone of your most commonly used hashtags. I actually have like bunches of hashtags. So like I'll have ones for Transformation Tuesday, or one of my inspiration pics, or one of my workout pictures or something like that. I have these all bunched so that I can quickly just go into my notes and copy and paste. You don't, for hashtags, I mean, like, I think Instagram changed recently. And if you post your hashtags in your comments, they're not going to show up on the newsfeed. So you want to post them in your original post. So you're going to write out your post, you're going to do call to action, and then right after, you're going to put all of your hashtags. And with your hashtags, you don't want to make them super generic, where I'm talking like there are literally over 1 million people posting that same thing, because more often than not, your hashtag, that picture, if somebody is searching that hashtag, it's more likely that they're not actually going to see it because of that hashtag. It is nice to use individual ones that you create for yourself so that you can create a following using that hashtag, but you don't just want to use individual ones. You want to have ones that have, like a few thousand, a few 100,000 hashtags, and you can actually see that. Let me see if I can kind of show you. I wish my thing was working really. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, it's not coming up with anything because I'm just editing a picture. But like when you're typing in a hashtag, it'll actually tell you, if you look at it, the amount of posts that hashtag is associated with. So if it has like 5, don't use it. Nobody's going to find it because of that hashtag. It's a waste of a hashtag. If it has like 1 million, again, don't use it because it's a waste. Nobody's going to find your picture because of that hashtag. You want to use ones that are like a couple, 1,000 to a couple 100,000. Those are most likely going to be seen because of that hashtag. And really, honestly, like, hashtag the shit out of your pictures. Because the more hashtags you use, the more people are going to see it. I don't really like using hashtags on Facebook because it looks annoying, but unless it's like 1 or 2 and they're like funny. But on Instagram, that is how people see your pictures, unless they're already following you, but that's how you're going to find new people, is by using hashtags. So that's pretty much how you want your post to go. Okay. So when you're reaching out to people, you want to search your target market hashtags, like hashtags that are associated with your target market. By target market, for all of you newer coaches, that has to do with branding and with making an avatar of your ideal customer. Check out in the Fit and Free Coach group the files on branding. It goes over all of that stuff. Honestly, the sooner you brand yourself, the sooner you figure out who your target market is, the more successful your business will be quicker, because you're actually going to know who you want to talk to. You're going to be able to gear your posts at that person. And that is on Instagram and Facebook and whatever kind of social media you're using. So do that. And once you figure that out, that's the hashtags that you're going to be searching. So for myself, for instance, I really like to search a hashtag boho mama, because I really like hippie style, and moms are my target market. So by searching things like that, I kind of see people that look like me, that I kind of have the same mindset as me, and I can search hashtags for them, find pictures. It doesn't have to be fitness related whatsoever. And you just start a conversation. But I mean, like, literally, I started a conversation with somebody today because I searched that hashtag boho mama, and she had a really cute pair of like moccasins, and I was like, oh my god, those are really cute. Where did you get those? And I started the conversation like that. And you just go back and forth a few times, again expanding on that. I asked her where she got them. She told me she got them on Zulily. I asked her how long ago. She told me, and I told her I really liked her style, if she wanted to add me on Facebook. And really, when you're talking to people, it's just a conversation. You don't have to like go into it with the mindset of they're going to be my prospect. Like, that's all I want them for. I just want their money. That's not what you want to do. If you're talking to people with that intention, yes, it's going to come across as salesy without you even thinking it is. You just want to build relationships. You just want to talk to people. And so when you comment, I always recommend following that person when you actually comment on one of their pictures. That's important because, for one, they're going to most likely follow you back. And two, it's going to be easier to remember for you to follow up with that person. So you want to make sure that you have a good follow-up system. It's really, really important to follow up with people on Instagram too, because it moves so quickly. A lot of the times people forget to tag you when they comment back on one of their pictures. And just because somebody comments below you on somebody else's picture, it's not going to show up in like your newsfeed like it would on Facebook. It only shows up if they go in and tag your name on there. So when you follow up with somebody, make sure that, just when you're commenting on somebody's profile, make sure that you go back into their profile, a day or two later and follow up with them and see if they actually commented back. If they didn't comment back, comment again. They might have missed it. Just like if people on Facebook read messages and forget to answer back, that's the same difference. So like I said, you just go back and forth a few times commenting, and it's really as simple as saying, hey, are you on Facebook? It's so much easier to hold a conversation there. Because it really is. It's not even a lie. It's so much easier to have a conversation over Facebook Messenger than it is to be on Instagram all the time. I know, because I'm on Facebook way more often than I'm on Instagram. So the conversations that I have on Facebook go so much quicker than they do on Instagram. It takes forever to have one on there. That's why typically within 3 or 4 comments, I like to move somebody over to Facebook. And I do it literally by asking, hey, are you on Facebook? It's so much easier to hold a conversation there. It's as simple as that. Don't overthink it. And if somebody thinks you're weird, oh well. It's just get over it, move on, do some PD. So you can comment back and forth with people. You can direct message. And now they actually have a new thing where you can direct message without sending a picture. So if you guys don't know that you could even direct message somebody, you would go to, I'm going to try and show this on here. So you go to this little thing where you would post a picture. And we'll just go to next. Okay, so you see that there. You see how it says followers? That's when you're posting to your followers. You can click on direct. Come on. And that way you can actually choose who to send it to. So if I want to send it to this person, that's literally how you can message that person directly. And I found out there's another way that you can follow them, or you can direct message them without even sending a picture too. But then when you actually get a message back, you're going to check it right up here. So this is on your home screen, and you would just click right up there. Come on. So yeah, that's all the direct messages that I have on there. And when you get a message from somebody, it'll say to message requests like that. So you just go back and forth like that. And once again, move it over to Facebook because it's easier to talk there. Reach out, if you're having trouble with going out and finding people by looking up their pictures, even though it's really not that hard. You can do 10 people a day in less than an hour. You can reach out to people who are liking your photos. So because you're using hashtags, people are going to be liking your stuff. You can reach out to those people by direct message, or just go to their profile and check out their profile, comment on something from there. When people comment on your Instagram, make sure you comment back, but make sure you tag that person. Like I said before, you want to make sure that, if just because you're commenting, especially if it's on your own thing, that person, it's not going to pop up that you commented back. You have to actually physically tag them in that post in order for them to see that come up in their own newsfeed. When I'm talking about commenting and having these conversations with people, don't try to start up a conversation with somebody that you really don't care about. You want to be genuine. It's not, I mean, if you're coming from a place where you're like, it's totally outside of your target market, you have no idea what you're talking about, they're going to see that, and it's not going to feel good to you. You're not going to have a good conversation. You're not even going to build a good relationship because it's built off of something that's just ingenuine. You want to always make sure that you actually are interested in something, and the conversation will just come naturally. And another thing that's really good to do, I mean, how many of you, especially if you've been using Instagram for a while, you'll see somebody likes 10 of your photos. It's because they're just on your Instagram and they're like, oh, I like this picture. I like this picture. Double tap, double tap, double tap. And then you notice that person because they just liked like 10 or 20 of your pictures all of a sudden. And they're just, bam, they're there. You can, I like to call that like bombing people. It's really, you're just, if you see somebody's profile that you're like, wow, I really like this person, this is cool, and you genuinely like all of their pictures, like physically like all of their pictures, because they're going to be like, oh shit, this person's cool, she liked all my stuff. And then they're going to go and check out your profile because of the same thing. And if you have those good 6 pictures up top, they're going to most likely follow you, and you can start a conversation from there. Really, it's the same thing. It's just starting conversations with people, it's making connections, it's building relationships, and it's moving them over to Facebook with a, hey, it's so much easier to talk on Facebook. Do you want to be friends on there? It's just, don't overthink it. Just talk to people. Bottom line. So that's what I have for you guys. We have a couple minutes. If any of you guys have questions, just unmute yourselves. Okay, no questions? So I totally forgot about going over the groups that we have for this month once again. So for those of you that don't know, we have the meal prep group, or the meal prep / crackpot group coming up in the accountability group next week. So what day is that? The 9th? I have all this stuff written down somewhere.
That's the 9th.
Okay, so yeah, that is the 9th. We are in Fall Classic right now, so make sure that you guys are, if you're on a team, which I hope you are, that you are actually connecting with your team, that you are running stuff together, or if you're not running stuff together, to make sure that you're still plugging people into the groups that we will be running. Okay, so the following week, oh, here we go. The following week, we have, oh, Heather, you were right. I totally wrote down November 9th for that Emerald group. Okay, so we have the Crockpot group on November 9th. We have the Push to Emerald group starting either the 9th or the 16th. I'll have to take a look at how many posts are left for the Coach Basics groups, and I'll let you know about that. So if you are interested, I hope you all are interested in getting to Emerald and beyond, make sure you talk to Heather because she's going to be running that group. And on November 16th, we're going to have a Healthy Holiday group. That's going to be another free group that's run in the Team Fit and Free Accountability group. And then on that November 16th, you want to make sure that you start posting about the next challenge group that we're going to be doing, which will be first week of December. I haven't decided on a name for it yet. And you're going to want to start inviting to coaching shortly, around there, because our webinar, well, actually, no, we're going to do another event like we did last month, and that is going to be on November 18th, so that way it is before Thanksgiving, and people don't have to worry about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to open it up to see if anybody has any questions, if you thought of anything while I was just talking, but otherwise.
So the coaching webinar is going to be on the 18th. Is there going to be a group after it that we're doing, or just a call?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an event like we did last month. So we're going to be posting straight into the event, and then we're going to do another mentorship for all of the new coaches that will come from that, and that'll start probably the week after that, I want to say.
Okay.
I'll have to check the dates on that because I don't want to. Holidays, people get a little weird about when they do things.
Yes.
So we just have to adjust to that.
The week after that is going to be Thanksgiving week.
Yeah. So it might start. I mean, we might still do it on that day. Like I said, I have to check. But otherwise, if we don't do it on that day, we'll start at the beginning of the month where the challenge group will start. But I like doing it the Monday after the event, so that way it kind of pushes people to sign up. Anything else? All right. Well, I hope you guys all got a lot out of this. If, you know, in the actual coach group, I'll make a thread and everybody post their Instagram names so we can follow each other and go check each other's profiles out, see if things are good, make sure that you're talking to people, and just, you know, adjust if something needs to be adjusted. So have a good night, everybody, and I will be talking to you all soon.